Hi, in this video we're going to fix a Toyota Corolla car key. Now if you haven't seen my previous videos, I did a repair on a key for, I think it was a Vauxhall Corsa, probably quite a few years back now. So one of my friends has got a Toyota Corolla, and this is one of the keys he got with the car, and unfortunately the rubber has deteriorated and the bit inside the button has also fallen out. So to repair this, I've got a little kit off eBay. Comes with new rubber bit, a couple of switches and a new battery. Although I think the battery, if I remember correctly, I think this is the wrong one for this key. But these kits are sold to fix various different Toyota models. Now if you want to fix a PCB like this, well, why not just get yourself a new PCB? With PCB Way, you can get high quality PCBs from just $5 for 10 boards. Why not add assembly starting from just $30 for 1 to 20 boards? PCB Way offer a high quality and professional manufacturing service, from prototype to fully assembled boards, flex PCBs and more. Check them out in the link below. So first thing we need to do is pop this little keyring bit off and remove this housing so we can gain access to the inside. So we will just pop this bit off here, and these are held together with one little screw. Get that screw removed. You'd also need to do this if you want to change the battery in one of these. Okay, so that's a screw apart. Then these do just pop apart. Might require a little bit of force if they're been together a while. Now the shell we will give a good clean, and so you get this kind of module unit inside, plastic area. So this button here is literally falling apart as well, the rubber bit, and then you've got your PCB inside. So a bit of luck, this housing should just pop apart. Might need to use a screwdriver to help it, but hopefully it will pop off and reveal the insides and the battery as well. And yep, that pops off, and yeah, it's a different battery. This is a CR2016, and the one that comes with the kit is a CR1616, so the battery won't be of any use to us here. So let's pop the battery out, place that to the side. So the next thing we need to do is gain access to the PCB. Now I'm imagining that this is probably clipped in somehow and should push out. We might be able to sort of push it out from the areas we got access to. So let me just get the board out and we'll carry on. Okay, so we got the board out, just kind of levered it a little bit with a screwdriver and it kind of flew out there. A little bit of plastic came out here. I don't know what that's from. Is it slightly? It's a bit rubbery, so that would be part of one of the old buttons, so at least we know we haven't actually broken anything. So it looks like this part clips in and then the board just is held in by that. Alright, let's zoom in, and we're going to get the damage button off, and we'll get the other button off as well, because I'm just going to replace both those buttons so we don't have to replace one then find the other one fails in the future. So I've just got one of the buttons out, and I just want to verify that the button does match up size wise to the old one, which it does. Slightly different layout, flat parts, so it's to just a center part. That's not going to cause us any problems at all. So we're going to get the soldering iron out and see if we can get this button off nice and easily. Okay, so just applied a little bit of flux just to either side of the button. Should hopefully help aid us in removing it. And a bit of luck, I'm going to try and rely on gravity to that side up, alternate between sides possibly. Could be easier to use hot air on this sometimes. but hopefully this will do the job. Okay, that's that side lifted. Ideally I could do with a little holder for this, but I haven't got a very good PCB holder. I must invest in one. Yes, it's quite fiddly without a little thing to hold the board. There we are. Grab it at the side of the switch. Definitely make sure that's lifted enough. It lifted off, but then it got stuck back down again. And get that side off there. Okay, so that's that one off. So we're just going to clean up the pads on there. Sorry, I'm out of shot. Clean up the pads a bit and get the new switch mounted. So just to clean up, I'm going to use a little bit of desoldering braid. Just to even out a bit on the switch. Okay, that's those two cleaned up. Just going to inspect that, make sure I'm happy with it. Yeah, that looks pretty good to me. So we will get the new switch on. Just going to apply a little tiny bit, if I can, of this gel flux that I'm not that impressed with, as I've mentioned in previous videos. And we will get the switch placed down, and we just want to get that lined up as best as we can and pop a little bit of solder on there. Okay, we've got one side held in place, so we'll just do the same to the other side. So these are quite fiddly. You could use hot air, but I always worry about that with these switches because there's a chance that you will damage the switch. And that side is on. Try and smooth that out a little bit. So that one's got a little bit of a ball on it, but I think that's connected. So we will just double check with the multimeter and just make sure that we've got contact across that switch. And yes, that switch works fine. So now I'm simply going to repeat the process and remove this switch and put the new one on. Now we're going to have to be extra careful with this switch here, as we've got a small component here, quite possibly a resistor, that is very close to that switch contact, so we need to make sure that we get it soldered on without bridging that one out. Okay, that's the second switch mounted on successfully, so I'm going to give the board a bit of a clean and the housing a bit of a clean, and then we can reassemble. Okay, so we'll just use some IPA. Way more than we need there, that's fine. Give it a nice good clean. Remove any flux residue, and a good opportunity just to clean up the contacts underneath. So we'll leave that, and we will just clean the casing a little bit as well. Just remove any build up of gunk that gets in there over the years. Should make things a lot easier to put back together as well. And we got nice clean surfaces on everything. You can actually buy complete replacement units for these that have everything in, but you get a blank key, so you'll need to get the key card and the immobilizer chip, which I'm guessing is built into this board, so I can't see anything obvious on here. You'll need to get that reprogrammed, so it seemed easier to go for a kit option like this to replace it. Now, as far as this rubber bit goes, is that built into the inside or the outside? I'll try and work out how we get this bit reattached to the key assembly itself. Guessing it possibly goes in from underneath. No, it doesn't seem quite right. Let me have a look and see how we can get this rubber bit reattached. Now, looking at this has got this black area built in, but this isn't actually parts of the rubber. So I'm not quite sure, because we didn't get bits of rubber breaking out. So I'm guessing these were kind of just sat in there and just held in. And I think with this kit, the idea is to put it in the actual casing like that, so it pokes through and that way round. So yeah, unless the rubber had literally deteriorated completely, but I think they used a slightly different method in the original factory design. But we'll go with that method, and hopefully that should be fine. So we just need to get the board and the battery clips, etc. reassembled. So I've got it all reassembled. Apologies, but for some reason my camera didn't record the footage that I did of reassembling it. It was just a case of putting the PCB in first, and then the black area, which is where the battery sits. There's two tabs on one side and one on the other side, so I just simply clipped the single one in first and then pushed down, and it locked the other two tabs in, popped the battery in, and then just simply connected it in here, case on, screw in, and job done. And as you can hopefully see, that if we press the buttons, the lights do light up, and that's certainly much better than it was before. If you like the video, guys, please do give it a thumbs up. That does help. Please subscribe if you haven't already done so, and please do consider donating via Patreon to help me to continue to produce videos like these. See you soon for the next one. Cheers.